Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy Tej, and today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make a beat using piano sounds for Polo G's Hall of Fame. I'm gonna be basing the track off of some of those more emotional piano songs, but with the harder hitting 808s and whatnot. And I'm gonna be breaking down everything from scratch, so everything from the melody to the drums. I'm gonna be showing y'all how I did it in this video. As always, I'll have the full beat at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around for that. And with all that being said, let's just hop right into the beat. Alright, so I got two FLPs for this beat, so this is what the melody sounds like when I exported it, and I'll just go into the pattern and break down what I did. So we have four basic elements to this. We have a few piano sounds and some vocal chops. For our first piano sound, I went into Addictive Keys and just got the normal Studio Grand preset. So with that preset, I went in and I put in a chord progression, which I believe is in C sharp minor, and it sounds a little something like this. And so for the second half of this pattern, it's the same thing as the first half, except this A is up an octave, so the one of the chord is inverted, and we brought this F sharp up to a G sharp. Next I went into key zone and I put in the bass notes and the higher notes, so I'll show you all the bass notes first. Both of those are using the Yamaha Grand Piano preset, and I just used the bass notes from our chords and just copy pasted them into lower octaves here. And these lower parts have a lower velocity than the higher and low notes. So with the chords, we got something that sounds like this. And for effects on that first piano, I went and panned it a little bit to the left so that way it was kind of centralized, and then I put in some RC20. So I turned the noise off, put the wobble down really low, added some space and turned the decay to about 40%, and then I went and put the low cut up to about 200 hertz to kind of cut out some of those lower frequencies. And then I did the same thing in the EQ, went and cut at about 200 hertz. And for my bass notes, I went in and I put in a low cut at around 100 hertz just to kind of cut out some of that lower muddiness. That way it just sounds cleaner when we export it. For our higher notes, again, I just kind of penciled in some stuff in the C sharp minor scale. And so you might notice that there's like these smaller accent notes here. So how you do that is you copy the note as you want to and you shorten it down. And if you're in the line setting, if you zoom in enough, you can stretch the note to however long you want it to. And then you get it to here and you hold Alt and scroll and you can bring the velocity down, and it's gonna make this like rolling sound effect with it. With our bass notes and our chords, we got something that sounds like this. And I put that into a mixer, and I have a low cut EQ just to kind of cut out some of those percussive key sounds that come with the piano preset. Put on some Valhalla Supermassive, turned the warp all the way to 100, and I turned the mixer rack level to 50%. And then got a fruity reverb, turned up the wet and turned the decay up a little bit and put that to about 70% on the mixer rack knob. And then the last part of these melodies is the vocal chops. So I went into Arcade and I first got this questioning bank from Hooked, and I also got this escapism bank. So the first vocal chop I added was this. And I added a second vocal chop using the other bank. So in context with our pattern, we got something that sounds like this. And so what I did is I went into Arcade and I turned the delay and reverb on these all the way down. I threw both of those into the same mixer channel, and I went into Parametric EQ2, and I just cut out some of the mids and some of the highs. The mids are just so it gives more room for the drums, and the highs just to cut out some of the harshness. And I went on to reverb, turned the dry down, the wet up, and the decay up, just to add some more space to it. And then just put a stock love filter on it to cut out some of those higher frequencies so it sounds a little more put into the background. And so if you're wondering how I get these mixer tracks right here, all into sequence. So for these right here, you can right click and hold and select all these and go to the mixer and hit Control-Shift-L, and it'll put them all in sequence for you right here. And for this arcade one, if you just want to put one in, you just select however many channels you want to route to that one mixer, click on it, and then hit Control-L, and it'll route all those channels to the one mixer. I stemmed it out and put it into a new FLP. Now we got our melody in our new FLP, and all I did is I just time stretched it to the tempo, and we put the pitch down by 1/2 step. And from here we started on the drums. So the drum kit I used for this one, I think was primarily Section 8 and Chi-Chi drum kit that I got off of Reddit. It doesn't have to be a drum kit in particular, but I personally just thought that these sounds fit the beat kind of well, so I rolled with it. So I got a clap sound, and I just put a basic clap pattern, third beat of every measure. And then after that, I put in a hi-hat pattern. So it looks kind of intricate, but it's not too bad. So I'll just kind of go through and break it down real quick. The framework is pretty much just a 2-step pattern, except some of the velocities here on the normal 2-step hi-hats are kind of adjusted just to add a little more bounce. This roll right here is using the 1/3 step in the green magnet tool. And this one is using the 1/6 beat. And this one is using the 1/6 step, and you can see that most of the velocities on these are just rolled up or rolled down, and that's pretty much just copy pasted over. And these lower notes right here are kind of quiet accent notes. As you can see, the velocities are a lot lower compared to the other notes, and these are just meant to add a little more bounce to the drums. Along with our clap and our melody, this is what we got so far. Next, I put in an open hat, and I enveloped it, so just went into this tab, everything down, hold all the way up, and I put in this open hat pattern. Then I added my 808, so it's just a normal spins 808, except I went to this tab under pre-computed effects, and I turned the EQ up to about 25% and turned the out knob up to about 20%. So we got this kind of harder hitting 808. And it has a little bit of punch at the beginning, and it's still kind of distorted sounding. So I put in this 808 pattern. It's pretty simple, like there's no crazy rolls or anything like that. And then after that, I added a reverse open hat just to kind of accent that first open hat, so it kind of leads into it. Then I added a kick just to add a little more punch to that 808. And the last thing I added was the snare pattern. It's pretty simple. It's similar to a lot of the other snare patterns that I have. It's just kind of this and of 4, and of 1. And I just added a couple rolls. So this one right here is just using the normal grid lines. This one's using the 1/3 beat setting under the green magnet icon. In context, this is what we got. So that's all I got for this one. As always, thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see me do in the comments below. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, hit the sub button. Go follow my Instagram, link will be in the description, or at beatsbytej. And that's all I got, so I'll see y'all later.
Yo, Tej, what's up?